Hi, my name is Clint Osowski, and I'm with Border Security Consulting. My specific expertise is Mexican drug trafficking and cross-border violence. Today I'm going to talk a little bit about the situation in Mexico. There are numerous cartels or drug trafficking organizations that exist within Mexico. For example, there's the Sinaloa cartel, the Gulf cartel, the Zetas, the Beltran Leyva organization. There's also the Tijuana cartel and the Knights Templar. All of these organizations exist within Mexico, generally speaking, in different geographical locations. They control specific areas. They're known as plazas. Plazas are basically specific areas or locales. So sometimes it might be a city, it might be a state, or another geographical area. They also control the trafficking corridors into the United States. Generally, they pick specific corridors because of the fact that the transportation of drugs can easily be taken into the United States down interstate highways in Mexico, through the United States, and it can go all over the country in a very short period of time. Getting back to Mexico, however, these drug cartels use different tactics against the government, the citizens, and they've even expanded their operations into other types of activities such as kidnappings, extortion. Some of them, like Los Zetas, actually use videos. They make video piracy. They use piracy to actually make more money. These organizations are extremely violent, and the reason why they use violence is because there is no legal mechanism to actually settle disputes between organizations. If one person steals from another, you can't just take it to court. There is no legal remedy. You can't take it to the police. You can't go there and say, this organization stole my drugs or they killed one of my members. There's nothing that can be done within the legal system. So as a result, violence is one of the mainstays of the business. In addition, one of the biggest problems that face drug trafficking organization is informants. If you use informants within the organization, it is extremely dangerous because it can give law enforcement an inside picture of what's going on. They can also use the information to prosecute some of the violators and convict them of crimes. So they use violence and intimidation in order to ensure that they're organized, in order to ensure that people don't inform upon others. They use extremely violent acts such as beheadings and boiling people alive. They give them acid baths and they torture them with burning cloths on their chest. All sorts of different violence. A lot of these tactics are used to send messages to other drug trafficking organizations that basically say, hey, if you decide you want to challenge us, this is what's going to happen to you. You take that a step further, it also makes sure that everybody else knows that this is what's going to happen to you if you challenge the authority of the drug trafficking organization. Currently, the government of Mexico, or actually the previous administration, used what's known as the Merida Initiative. And what that was, basically, the Mexicans sent the military into specific areas within Mexico in order to combat the drug trafficking organizations. The one issue with that is they use the kingpin method, which is basically going out and arresting the kingpins or killing them and taking out the head leadership. The problem was that this method is highly ineffective. And the reason why it's ineffective is because it causes a great deal of violence. A lot more than if they let the drug organizations themselves run on their own. When an organizational leader is killed or captured, what occurs is inter-cartel violence. That would be cartel violence within the organizations as people vie for power and control over the organization. So there's murders within the organizations constantly in order to take over that particular cartel. Another issue is that there's inter-cartel violence. And what that means is different cartels will vie for territory, known as plazas, or drug trafficking corridors that go into the United States. So basically, it causes a war between the drug trafficking organizations for control over territory.